Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're your shortcut to, well, getting truly well-informed. Today we're taking a plunge, a really deep one, into something that's foundational for digital security, but often, behind the curtain. Access control and identity management. We've got some great source material here, and we're going to slice through the jargon, maybe uncover some surprises. Ever wonder how big companies, or even smaller ones, keep all their digital doors locked? Or how a new hire gets just the right access without total chaos?
Yeah, that's exactly it. At its heart, it's about, well, managing who's who online, verifying identities, and then controlling what they can actually do based on their role, their needs, the big goal. Stamp out unauthorized access. But what your materials really stress, and it's important, is the efficiency gain. Automating this stuff, it saves huge amounts on IT support, cuts out those manual headaches.
Okay, right. Let's unpack that. Efficiency and security. The sources you shared have some really interesting examples. My first thought often goes to, giant corporations needing this level of tech. But one thing that jumped out was how critical this is for smaller places, too, like a local accounting firm. You might not picture them using cutting-edge identity stuff.
Yeah.
How does it really help them?
Oh, it's a perfect example, actually. For a smaller firm, doing access manually, kind of ad hoc, that's a common trap. Automating permissions for new accountants means they get exactly what they need day one, securely. And, crucially, no IT person has to sit there clicking boxes. It frees up their limited IT folks to focus on, actual growth, not just keeping the lights on.
Okay, that makes sense. So it's not just about who gets in, but how they get in. And maybe even more importantly, what they can actually do once they're inside.
Exactly. Which brings us neatly to just-in-time access, JIT. Often goes hand in hand with privilege elevation. The real genius of JIT isn't just stopping hackers, though it helps there too. It's about stopping what we call privilege creep.
Privilege creep.
Yeah, where someone slowly gathers more and more access over time that they don't really need anymore. That becomes a massive target, either for insiders or if an account gets compromised. So JIT means maybe you grant admin rights, but only for the 15 minutes needed to update something. Then, poof, those rights vanish automatically. It's surgical, cuts down your attack surface, reduces insider risk.
Right. And then there's the thing we all wrestle with. Passwords. Seems basic, but the sources suggested it's deeper.
Oh, password management is way beyond just choosing a strong one. It's about secure storage, encryption for those really important credentials, like admin accounts. It's about enforcing strong policies, rotating them regularly. And here's a key financial point from the materials. Doing this well, it directly cuts your cyber insurance costs.
Really? How so?
Insurers look very closely at this now. Strong password practices. Non-negotiable if you want decent premiums. It reduces your liability too.
Got it. Okay, so someone has the right access, the password's managed. How do you make sure they only do what they're supposed to do?
Right, because access is one thing, using it correctly is another. That's where role-based access control, RBAC, and the principle of least privilege come in.
RBAC.
Yeah.
Heard that one.
Yeah. Assigning rights based on a job role seems simple. But the real challenge, where places often trip up, is defining those roles accurately in the first place. Get it right, and the payoff isn't just security, it's boosting productivity.
How does it boost productivity? Seems like it might slow things down.
Well, if users have exactly what they need, not too much, not too little, they can just get on with their jobs. No waiting for permissions, no security roadblocks, but also no dangerous overprivileging. And tied right into that is session management.
Okay.
That means tracking what people do during their privilege sessions, how long they last, what actions they take. It's all logged. It's about auditing the use of privileges, improving incident response if something does go wrong.
Wow. Okay. This sounds like a massive undertaking to manage.
Yeah.
Especially now with all the regulations and everyone moving to the cloud.
It is a lot. And that's why audit and compliance are absolutely vital. You have to track the stuff for regulations, generate those reports. It's not just about avoiding fines, which can be huge, but protecting your reputation too. And the cloud. Yeah, that's a whole different ballgame. Cloud infrastructure management focuses on finding and zapping excessive permissions out there. Enforcing least privilege in AWS, Azure, GCP, it's crucial to avoid those really common, really damaging misconfigurations.
And that saves money how?
Directly, by preventing breaches that cost a fortune, obviously, but also just by keeping your cloud environment cleaner, more secure, easier to manage. It lowers overall security costs. And look, with remote work now basically standard, securing privileged remote access is table stakes.
Like everyone's logging in from everywhere.
Exactly. So you need encrypted connections, tight controls on what remote users can do, constant monitoring. It's a bit of a paradox, right? Remote work gives flexibility, but massively blows up the potential attack surface. Good access control is the foundation that makes it workable. Oh, and one last quick point from the materials, finding those hidden, orphaned accounts. Old accounts nobody uses. Hackers love those. Cleaning them up actually reduces audit prep costs.
So wrapping this up, what does this all mean for you listening? Clearly, access control and identity management isn't just about your login screen. It's this whole complex framework, touches basically every part of digital security and efficiency and managing risk.
Yeah, if you pull back to the big picture, it's obvious this isn't just some IT checklist item. Robust access control. It's a strategic business advantage. It protects your assets, sure, but it also streamlines how you operate. And it really does reduce major financial and reputational risks. Which, I guess, leads to a question for you. Think about it. What hidden or maybe excessive digital permissions might be lurking around in your own personal tech? Or maybe in the companies you deal with every day? What unseen vulnerabilities could be sitting there just waiting?
That is definitely something to chew on. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive.